Thank you guys so much for joining this ASAHPERD Connection on mental health. We're really excited to be talking about the topic we are today. It's so very important. If you are an educator in the classroom, I hope that you've been able to start out strong and are feeling good. I know that there are so many different challenges that are facing teachers and students this year, and it's just ASAHPERD's desire just to come alongside and help support in any way we can. And I think I probably speak for all of us when I say that almost everyone's been affected in some way by mental health. Our families, the things that we're dealing with, our kids, our students. The statistics are kind of staggering right now, just as far as the youth and adults that are dealing with mental health issues and anxiety. 60% of youth deal with depression kind of undiagnosed. But we're really excited because today I'm thrilled to be able to introduce our speakers. We've got Adrian and Abby with us. They are from the Addiction Prevention Coalition in Birmingham. They are wonderful and have been doing some awesome things in our community to equip teachers and students to face what we're currently experiencing in terms of mental health crisis. They are certified instructors in youth mental health first aid and are here to share with you about a very exciting opportunity being offered this year at the fall conference to become certified in youth mental health first aid. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to them so that they can share with you a little bit more about this certification process that will be available for the fall conference and how you can sign up.
Abby, you want to start off or?
Oh, okay. Oh, Adrian, can you start off since you're going on Sunday before?
Yes, okay. So the conference is a 3-day conference and it'll be that Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And so again, I'm Adrian Coleman. I'm the Director of Student Initiatives with the Addiction Prevention Coalition. And so what we do with our mental health piece for the students is I've been certified as a teen mental health first aid instructor. And so I'll go into the schools and I will offer the teen mental health first aid to specific students for either a 3-day, a session of 90 minutes for 3 days or 45 minutes for 6 days. And it's the same range of students between the grades of 10 through 12. And so what teen mental health first aid is an in-person training that's designed for high school students to learn about mental health illness and addictions, particularly on how to identify and respond to developing mental health or substance use challenges among their peers. And so like CPR, teens will learn a 5-step action plan and they'll help their peers who may be faced with mental health or substance use challenges or crises, and such as suicide. And so this course was developed to respond to research indicating that young people prefer sharing their challenges with their peers instead of with adults. And so what we do is we go in and we give them those resources and tools that'll help them recognize the signs and symptoms of mental health, substance use, any type of emotional or behavior change in their peers, and then know who to actually seek for that actual that behavior or that emotion with their counselors, their teacher, pastors. So we just give them all the tools that they're needing to get the help that they're needing. And so I will be going over some things with the teachers as to what I'll be presenting to the students, as well as I'll go over some information with the teachers on their mental health and how to deal with stress and anxiety, and tools to help build resilience during the difficult times of being in this pandemic and just going through different changes in, work and school and, so it's going to be a great conference, and then we'll just have a lot of information for you as to what we'll be instructing the students on, as well as what you all will be receiving. And so Abby will be doing the certifications. I'll let her speak on that.
Hi, my name is Abby Famarewa. I'm the epidemiologist here at APC, and I'm also a youth mental health first aid instructor. And we'll be offering this training on Monday and Tuesday during the conference. And What this is to teach people who work with youth on how to identify and better understand the signs and symptoms of mental illnesses and substance use disorders in youth. And the training it's divided into 2 parts. So there's a 2-hour self-paced course that will be sent to the participant like 2 weeks or 10 days before the actual training. And that kind of like just goes over the introduction to the course, and you get to learn the action plan. So there's like a 5-step action plan that is we're encouraged to use when we're faced with difficult situations with students or youth. And then on the day off, which is Monday and Tuesday, we would have like a skills application portion of the course, and that would take like 5 hours. So we'll be going through the action plan that was learned during the introductory phase, which is the self-paced one, and we'll be doing like activities. It will include scenarios, real life scenarios, like what would you do in this situation and how would you handle the situation, how to identify the signs and symptoms, and how to better serve the youths we work with. And then after that is completed, the participants have to take an evaluation after the course. And once that is done, you would get an electronic copy of the certificate, and that is valid for 3 years. And you also get 8 hours continuing credit, continuing education credit for the training. I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Please feel free to ask. If anyone has any questions about the training, how you sign up. The courses are going to be the first 2 sessions on Monday. Adrian's going to do an introductory course session on Sunday, but the first certification courses will be on Monday, the first 2 at 8, and I believe the following one at a little after 9. And then on Tuesday, it'll be 3 sessions in the morning. And then there will be the additional 2 hours of pre or post work that Abby was mentioning that people would have to do. And then also the big thing that I wanted to mention, and they both said it, but I did want to just reiterate, is that if you would like to attend this training, of course, as long as you sign up for the fall conference, you're welcome to attend any of these sessions. But if you want to actually be certified in youth mental health first aid, you do need to sign up with them. And so would one of you guys be able to show the image?
Okay, I can do that. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry, taking a while. Okay. Here's. Okay. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so the registration will be through the Eventbrite one, and once you sign up, I'm sure, Ellen, you're gonna send this out, right? As soon as you sign up, I'll be able to get your information and put that in 10 days or 2 weeks to the date. You'll get like an email from Mental Health First Aid on how to complete the pre-work, which is the self-paced 2 hours course I mentioned earlier. That's it.
And for those of you, if you just want to write down that web address, you can type it in up in Google, and it'll take you to a form where you can then sign up for this specific training. And then you would also need to sign up for the fall conference. And then there will be an email that's coming from Abby and Adrian to you the 2 weeks prior to the conference. So does anyone else have any questions specific to what, anything about the training or anything of that nature? So what's really is very cool about this training is that what the teachers will be able to do is specific for educators. But then what Adrienne's also going to introduce is something that she's going to bring to the schools. And that would be the students then being able to take more ownership in helping see their peers and help then assisting their peers with mental health issues as well.
Yes.
Because we all know that sometimes students are more likely to open up to everyone or to peers than they are sometimes even to teachers. So, all right. So no questions. Anyone else? Well, I think we're going to have a little bit of, we're going to change gears, try to have a little bit of fun. We're going to turn it over to Jonathan real quick he's going to take us through a little Jamboard session or Google Jamboard. Did I say it right?
Yes, no, you're right.
To collaborate a little bit and just talk about how everyone's feeling with the start of this school year and mental health and what we can do. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Ellen. So what I'm going to do is put a link to a Jamboard in the chat, and you'll just click on that, and then we'll kind of go over how to use the Jamboard. This is a really good tool to use, especially if you have to teach virtually. It's kind of like an interactive whiteboard, and you'll be able to see that in just a second. So the link is now in the chat. So all you have to do, I'll give everyone just a minute or so to join the Jamboard, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, looks like we have quite a few people in. I'm going to share my screen now so you all can see what I'm looking at. There you go. So there is the Google Jamboard. So first, let's go over the question, then we're going to talk about, how do we use this tool to answer this question. So if you could describe your current state of mental health using a cartoon character, a meme, a song title, etc., what would it be? And you kind of see we provided an example here. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. One, you can provide a sticky note. So for example, you click over here. So let me show you again. You click on this icon here right up under the arrow that's in a circle. So click on that. You can color code your sticky note, whatever you would like. I'm going to choose a song. And we say this in our department all the time, and I think it's very fitting. Here we go. And then you just hit save, and you're going to see it pop up. Okay. And I can click on, now the song I chose is Jesus Take the Wheel. Like, please, we need that, right? So hopefully everyone can see the song. You can click on your sticky note. You can move it around. So that's the song that I chose. And now if you want an image, so let's say we want to choose an image instead, you can click on this icon right under the sticky note here on the left side. Just do a Google search. So here we go. I'm going to search the Tasmanian Devil. All you do is click on it and then insert. And there is my image. That is sometimes what I feel like my current state of my mental health is sometimes, right? Sometimes it's kind of all over the place. So that's my vision. So I'll let you all, we'll take a few minutes and complete the Google Jamboard, and we can all, kind of take a look. And if anybody wants to share, feel free. So we'll give you just a couple of minutes to kind of practice with that. Awesome. We already have some people adding some stuff. Oh, great. I like that. All I can do now is put on a brave face. That's good. That's good. Okay. Oh yeah, somebody is just tired. Completely understand that, right? And if you want to, you can also shrink your image if for some reason you want to shrink it or make it larger by clicking on the image and then grabbing one of the blue circles at one of the corners. Okay. All right, we get everybody just a couple more minutes. So once again, if you could describe your current state of mental health using a cartoon character, meme, song title, what would it be? All right. So did you can just raise your hand. There we go. Only drink coffee when I know. That's good. That's good. Y'all keep them coming.
I wish you could like some of these and tell which
I
ones
know
you-
that's true.
and
Yes.
say
Yes.
so you could vote on, like in a class, you could vote on the most
Yes.
creative one.
Yes. Now you could, let's see, I wonder if you can, do you think you can circle? Yeah, by using the pen, you might can circle what you like most. So go over here to the left side of the screen. You can click on this pen here. You can kind of circle your favorite. Okay. I think this one's pretty funny. That one's pretty good too. Sometimes we need a lot of coffee, right? So as you can see, this tool is really nice to use. Yes, tired, just tired. Absolutely. This tool is just really good to use whenever you're kind of in that virtual teaching environment. If you really want to get your kids, kind of involved, you can pose a question and have them do exactly what we did here. And what's really cool about this is you can add even more Google Jamboards, which we'll participate in another one later. Just by scrolling, you can use the same link. And if you have various classes, like this could be for period 1, you could do another one with the same link for period 2 and things like that. So it's just a really cool tool to use. The one thing that we wish that, Ellen and Donna and I discussed is that we wish you could, choose a video and put a video on here that you can click. We have not found out how to do that. So I'm sure there is a way, or I'm sure there's a tool that you can use, but we have not found that yet. All right, does someone want to describe? It looks like we have quite a few choices. Does someone want to just kind of describe their image and why they chose it? I mean, I think for the most part we can see why from the memes. I think those are pretty funny. But if someone wants to share, feel free to share. Okay, I'm trying to practice.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start for a minute.
Thank you, Ellen. Go ahead.
I, of course, I did the one from The Office, putting on the brave face. There's so much kind of uncertainty. Things are constantly changing all the time. And so you just kind of are learning to just kind of go with it constantly. And so that can be sort of overwhelming, I know. And then especially when you've got your kids or other students are just kind of looking to you to make sure that, and you want to have all the answers, but we don't. So there's, and I've heard that uncertainty is the major cause of anxiety. So there's kind of a lot of that, going around. So.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Thank you, Ellen. I'll add mine. The reason I chose, like I said, the Tasmanian devil here is because there's moments that I feel like my mental health is great, and then there's moments when it's not, and it's sort of like a roller coaster, or sometimes I feel like I'm kind of all over the place, and I think that is that's why I chose this image for sure. Yes, that's a good one. Whoever put that there, that's a good one.
Jonathan,
Oh.
I'm on my phone, so I couldn't get to the whiteboard. I had downloaded actually, but I had one of a forest fire. Sometimes I feel like everything's on fire all around you, and I'm the one that's got to put them all out.
Yeah. Yes, good point, Don. And yes, we do see your image as a forest fire, as a forest fire here. Absolutely. I was trying to find the meme and I couldn't find it before I jumped on the Zoom here on the song Jesus Take the Wheel. We always kind of say Jesus take the wheel. Oh no, not that wheel, not that wheel. So there's a meme out there that I think there's even a video that you can click on. It's pretty funny. Talking about that song, but yeah, Don, thank you. Yes, we definitely see the forest fire, and you're right. You're the ones that educators are the ones that the people on this call are the ones that are probably asked to put those out. You're absolutely right. Anybody else?
I'll certainly help all the some of those others didn't show up because I was playing around just kind of looking to see what was there, and some of them were not exactly appropriate.
Gotcha. Thank you, Don.
Who did the one with the coffee drinking? 'Cause that was awesome.
I know
That was me. This is Alex.
Oh, hey, Alex, yes.
Alex, that's good.
And if you know
Nice.
me, you know I like coffee. But no, that's just not necessarily like physically tired and having to need that coffee, but just mentally kind of needed to, to do something new, to change the routine and maybe find maybe a little break here and there, and then come up with a little bit more of energy. But it's also 5 o'clock, so I get done at 5 from work, so I do definitely feel a little tired at this point.
Yeah.
Now, Alex may or may not have a little warmer on his desk to keep his coffee warm all day.
Hey, that's okay, Alex. Look, you got to have the coffee. It keeps you energized, right?
Right.
Okay. Anybody else want to share? All righty. Well, thank you all for participating in this one. Like I said, we'll kind of reconvene in just a few minutes to participate in one more. Ellen, I'll turn it back over to you.
So we wanted to just make you guys feel probably you could relate to at least one or several or maybe all of these, whether it's, feeling tired in the mornings, start back of school, things that all the changes that have been going on. But we also wanted to collaborate and give y'all a chance to speak about kind of what are some things that maybe you have felt that were helpful to you that you plan on doing maybe this year in the classroom, or if you're not in a classroom, just things that you know of off the top of your head that can help with mental health. Of course, a lot of us are health and physical education teachers, so those are going to be kind of at the top of the list, but we kind of wanted you guys to have a moment to be able to talk too about some ideas, if anyone, like things maybe that you did last year at the end of last year, and or things that you plan to do this year, just to kind of help pace yourself and that can help with some mental health. I'll go ahead and share, because I know that Jonathan's going to bring up the next board, but even something as simple as, we kind of wanted to focus on, what's a plan, whether it's boundaries, setting boundaries with work and family and school and expectations and things with students, whether it is dedicating yourself to be able to exercise or sleep or turning off social media, or just anything that personally that that helps you. There's a lot of things out there, and some things may be helpful, some things may not, but we just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of have some of you guys input. So for the first one, hey, you're not alone. Everyone's kind of in the same boat. And then number two, we kind of wanted to start, just kind of collaborating with some things that could be helpful.
Yes, thank you, Ellen. And if you would feel more comfortable putting your, if you want to share, great. If you want to put your you know, your idea of what you plan on implementing this year on this Google Jamboard, please do that. And then, you know, if you still want to share, that would be great. Because as Ellen mentioned, we thought it was a great idea to kind of show that we're kind of all in the same place. Like a lot of the images and sticky notes were about being tired and putting out fires and just kind of being overwhelmed is kind of what I noticed on the last Google Jamboard. And now maybe it's this Jamboard is going to be used to see those strategies that maybe others are doing that maybe you didn't even think about that could help with that mental health. So as Ellen mentioned, if you want to share, please do, and or please just, you know, write something on a sticky note or something like that on this Google Jamboard. And to get to the next board, you would just click up here where the arrow is. It says number 1 of 2. Just click to the right. You can use that same link, but I'll still post it in the chat for you, just in case you need it. Give me just a second. There you go. So is there anyone that wants to, yeah, there we go. That's good. Okay, so we'll give everyone a few more minutes. You just kind of brainstorm, add your images if you would like. That's a good idea, Adrian. Good idea. Boundaries are good. Okay, we'll give everyone a couple more minutes. Not today. Yeah, that's good. Not today. That's good.
I can't pull that up. I tried to get on my other computer, but one of the things that I know that I'm doing is work-life balance. So really making sure that I don't do work outside of work hours. So when I turn my computer down at the end of the day, I turn it down, unsync it from my phone so that I can be sure that when I'm off work, I'm working on myself or spending time with my family, not focused on work.
Absolutely, Penny, and that's very important, that work-life balance. Absolutely. Just breathe. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like that about doing your devotional each morning and getting to the gym 5 days a week. That's a good one. Thank you, Penny, for sharing. Because work-life balance is very important, especially this year. Even if you have to turn your notifications off on some apps, you know, your email, or if you're a person like me, I don't like notifications at all because when I see them on my phone, I have to click on them to get rid of them. So that's just the way I am. Some people not like that, but for me, the notifications bring me anxiety. So there are times that I have to just turn those notifications off at certain times of the day. Good. Yeah. Become certified in youth mental health first aid. Good. Good. So does anybody else want to share? I'll kind of share what I wrote. I would have never thought I would have put a sticky note that says running on here as something that I'm implementing this year, but it is something that I have started about 3 weeks ago, and never did think I would be the person to just go for a jog. And I have become that person. I enjoy that time that I just listen to my music and I go for a run. That kind of puts me in a in a right place mentally. And I would just say, just find what you love to do, and just set aside that time. And I try to do the same time every day, to be intentional about doing that, to really help. Does anybody else want to share?
I'll go ahead and second. The exercise is
Alex again.
that's such a big thing. I know, Alex, you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually walking to my car because I'm leaving the office. But I think that one thing that is important is that just being able to set expectations that are realistic, and then being okay with the result. I know that I've worked with most of you guys here in this conversation, and all of you are probably overachievers. So, a lot of times it's okay to fail, and just we need to be able to accept that and then move on forward.
Yeah, Alex, that's a good point. I heard probably the greatest, and I'm what we say around here is we admire and acquire certain things, because there's I've read some things, but I've heard to I can't remember, someone said it in a school system, I think that was in a few weeks ago, about failing forward. Like, you're going to fail, but you fail forward. Failing forward sounds much more positive than you fail behind, or when you fail, it's just failing forward. You learn and you continue to move forward. And I think about that. That's a good point, Alex. Don't be afraid of failure. And yeah, that's just a great point. I appreciate you sharing, Alex. Does anybody else? Ellen, I think you were going to say something, right?
Yeah, I was just, well, and Alex, I do think that that's a great point, and it just makes me think of, like, all of us, no matter what capacity that we're in, whether it's our families or students that we're around, have people that do watch what we do. And so just kind of maybe not taking because, a lot of times teachers tend to put a lot of pressure on themselves, but when we do, whether it's fail or, something happens, kind of like us developing the resiliency steps too, to be okay with it, and then letting our families and our kids see it, and whether it's, and then having kind of the plans in place with, I was thinking exercise, because to me, mental benefits are one of the best things about exercise.
Yes.
I'm just so thankful that, it's fun. And if there's so many different outlets for it, but for me, the mental benefits are huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I think, but I do think it is important for kids and students to see how to handle failure and how to handle difficult things. And I think that when adults are a little bit honest and able to share that, I think that could probably be, a positive thing.
Yes, I agree, Ellen. I always try, and I'm sure many of you do too, to, tell my kids, I taught middle school on my failures. So they kind of see you as human, that you make mistakes too. And I even apologize to my kids when things, didn't go the way that I intended them to go. And it was maybe even my fault on planning. I always apologize to my kids, and I always believed in, challenging your kids enough to have them experience failures, because you really truly do learn more from failure, in my opinion, than you do from success. Because when you actually do fail, what are the next steps? And I think it's important to teach those next steps to your kids. So that's a very, very valid valid point, Ellen. Does anybody else have anything?
Hey, this is Adrian. So I guess I'm kind of like, it's still for myself, but I love helping people and educating. And so, like, going off topic from what I usually do, but it's something that the students will bring up, or, they'll say, what about my wellness? Because, like, if you look at substance use, most of the time they're not eating properly, and so are they not exercising? And so I just like do a whole realm of, education and trying to see where they are after we do mental health things, and just say, what's your wellness like? How are you eating? What's the nutrition? What's going on with you? And that's just like it helps me as well, because, like, they tell me things that's going, and I'm like, oh, I can relate to that. And then let's find out how we can address that and how we can make it better for us. Because someone mentioned, disconnect. I think it was Penny, disconnecting from work. I'm like, yes, that would help my wellness and my mental health, because I'm like you, I'm nosy. So if an alert comes up, I'm gonna, it just bothers me that my children have like 7,000 emails. I'm like, what? Are you serious?
Yes.
I have like, and then they'll look at my, or I charge my phone. They're like, you're on 70%, mom. I'm like, okay. Like, okay, it's on the charger for the night, but what? I'm supposed to leave it off because it's on 70. But yeah, it's just like, that helps me with, when I'm helping others, and and just getting, different ideas of how to relax and meditate, and have, those boundaries, set some more boundaries with my wellness and my mental health.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I think I was just going to say to that point, like, everybody's different. Like, my phone broke and I was able to wait 4 days to get a new one. Like, other people are like, oh, I couldn't do that. But, Jonathan, I think you brought up a good point. And what I like have talks with my nieces who were older, like senior in high school, just graduated high school last year, is around mental health, is the assumption that when you fail, it's a bad thing. So we need to start having those conversations so that children understand, like, okay, like maybe this wasn't a path for me, or maybe I should go. We're all where we are today because of the path that got us there, but it wasn't the direct path. Some of us made twists and turns and everything else. And so sometimes what was a failure back then turned out to be the biggest blessing. And we need to start having conversations that sometimes failure is not a bad thing. Just like in competition, you win and you lose a game. Not everybody's going to win every game, but we live in a culture where losing is bad. But if you're in the top 10 in the state, I say you did pretty good. Nobody wants to be that team that loses. But I think in order for our mental health and our wellness and things like that, you also have to look beyond just your job. How is your everyday life impacted? What are you doing in the community? What are you doing in your home? What are you teaching? How are you sharing your story? And I think that that's going to make a bigger impact on you personally, as well as on the mental health of those around you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Penny. Is really, like you said, teaching others that failure is not a bad thing. You can probably think of so many examples of where things were even invented out of failure. That's how some things were invented, was because people failed the first, second, third, and so on. It's just really important to, like you said, for our kids' mental health, our mental health, to really teach. Because you can probably think of some kids. I know I can think of some that they were kind of scared to fail because they were perfectionists, but then when they did fail, they were totally distraught because they really didn't know the next steps. They didn't know what they were feeling because maybe they never failed before. So teaching them that failure is not a bad thing. Failure to me is I kind of associate the word with failure with growth, because that's how you grow. I think you grow more through failure than you do successes. I do want to just bring up one more thing that I think was that someone put was the boundaries, and then not today. I thought those two were really important too. Sometimes, especially this year, try to set those boundaries, and don't be the yes person, right? Every single time that someone asks you to do something, don't, yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll do it. Because, I know you're probably like me. Like, I feel like I'm letting someone down if I say, no, I can't do that. But especially this year with all that's going on, having those boundaries in place, and just saying, you're not necessarily saying no, but maybe like that phrase right there, you're just saying, not today. Let's set aside another time to meet, or something. And in some situations, you may not be able to do what's asked. Like if you're asked to, to be on another board or something, if you're able to. Now, we know in certain circumstances you don't have the option to say no. So things that you can't, the situations that you can control, if you can set boundaries, and just have that in mind have your mental health in mind whenever you are presented with those circumstances you can control. Okay, is there anything else? Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Ellen. Thank you all for participating in the Jamboard activities. And if, of course, if you ever want more information on the Jamboards or anything like that, I'd be glad to help you.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Really appreciate you being willing to share with us the Jamboard, because that is such a fun tool and a great way to just kind of like conversation starter. So that's awesome. I did have one question that was asked in the chat that I was just going to ask maybe Abby or Adrian. And that was, is the training for the youth mental health, is that the same thing as the National Council of Behavioral Health?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So that would be yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I think that was the only question that we really got as far as the training itself. But just a few key takeaways when you leave. Again, go ahead and make sure you do sign up for the training, and there will be a confirmation coming from Abby and Adrian for that training, as well as an opportunity to do some pre-work prior to the fall conference. And then also make sure that you sign up for the fall conference. Adrian and Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us and answer questions, and just your expertise and your willingness to share.
No problem.
You do need to be registered for the conference to attend the sessions. As far as being an ASAHPERD member, I think most of the times, yes, but there might be some situations where you don't always have to be if you're not an educator. So that was another question that was asked on the board. But you do need to be, if you're a member, you do need to register for the fall conference to also attend. And there's going to be other health sessions besides just besides the training. But any other questions?
Do they need to be pre-registered?
I'm sorry?
I said, do they need to do pre-registration in order to attend this training so we know the numbers?
Yes. So as soon as, if you know that you want to attend this training, because they can only certify 30 at a time. So you do definitely need to register through the link that was shown. And Jonathan's going to continue to share that as well. And we'll continue to share probably on the ASAHPERD site. And we can send out to any one of you that needs it, some of the graphic that if you would like to distribute it to colleagues, members in the community that you know would like to attend this training, I'm going to put my email in the chat, and I would be more than happy to send that information to you so you'll have it and then pass along. And then Adrian and Abby, I'm sure will be kind of going over the numbers, and once they will kind of know kind of closer to how many people have signed up, and if they get to kind of capacity, we will know it, and we can, but the quicker you sign up, probably is much more likely that you'll be able to attend. So does that answer your question, Penny?
Yes, but I put the membership out there because a lot of people, since we didn't have an in-person fall conference last year, may have a lapsed membership. So just wanted to make sure to remind them that when they register to renew their membership.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Because most of those memberships go in September or in September. Yes, absolutely. Please, please become a member of ASAHPERD. We're here to support all the teachers. All right, I think that's it. Thank you so much for all of y'all who've attended this session. And if you have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and put my thing in the chat, but and I think that's it.